In this video, you're going to see about the 10 inmates who escaped from the New Orleans Parish Jail in Louisiana. There are still 6 on the run. They've caught 4 and they arrested a maintenance worker and charged him with 10 counts.
A sheriff's office releasing this new surveillance video where you can actually see the inmates escaping from the detention facility overnight. Authorities are now offering up to a $5,000 reward for any information that could lead to these inmates' capture.
Serious situation. These inmates, escaped inmates, are facing a variety of charges, including violent charges such as murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment. So let's dig a little bit deeper here into the timeline and what happened with this brand new surveillance video. 12:23 a.m. You can see them right there yanking on these doors, pulling them off the tracks, says the sheriff. Then at 1 a.m., it is at this moment that a corrections monitoring technician stepped away from their position where they would be visually watching this pod to go grab some food. And that is the moment the sheriff tells us that the inmates exited through a hole in the wall behind the toilet, got into the loading dock, and you can see them right here. This is after they scaled the wall, going past the barbed wire, and then going through this interstate. Now, the Orleans Parish Sheriff, Susan Hudson, says that the cells had defective locks, but they also had evidence of this being an inside job. The plumbing and the rebar that you can see right here had been clean cut with those big bolts removed that could only have happened with outside help, they said. Now, officials discovered that they were missing at least 7 hours later since their escape. Since this has happened, they have suspended 3 of the employees there pending the outcome of this internal investigation. And the sheriff insisted that the moment they found out, they immediately started calling victims and started calling survivors to warn them of what had happened. Now,
Sheriff's Office maintenance worker, 33-year-old Sterling Williams, has been booked on 10 charges of principal to escape or helping inmates escape and 1 count of malfeasance in office. Here's a photo we actually just got into the newsroom from the Attorney General's office of 33-year-old Sterling Williams. Here it is here. Again, you can see his charges there. Court documents from sources say Williams told investigators that Antoine Massey, one of the inmates involved in this escape, according to investigators, he apparently told investigators that Massey threatened to shank him if he did not turn off water to the cell through which these 10 inmates escaped. Those documents also say Williams is seen on surveillance footage in one of the jail pods talking to Derek Groves, Massey, and another inmate.
Chapman, a.k.a. Dog the Bounty Hunter. Dog, good to see you as always. Was this an inside job?
You know, I've chased a lot of these guys and caught a few, and every time it is an inside job. I mean, it's obvious that someone had to help them, and maybe more than just one person.
And that would make it that they were helping them on the outside as they got away, or helping them on the inside? I mean, the way that the district attorney's talking, they were sort of allowed to dig through this back wall and nobody's watching the monitors. This is surveillance video of one of the escapees out on the street. So you're saying that there were corrections officers in on this?
Well, yes, sir. One guard, you search a cell, the first place you look is the toilet, around it, and, because the toilet leads to the outside. All latrines, toilets lead in county jails lead that way. And then monitor, the same guard that's supposed to be watching them on one floor is not the same guard that looks at the monitor. So that's why I'm thinking it could be, I'm sure it's an inside job. And also, I think it's more than just one guard that is in on it. I'm sure if they ran DNA on all.
How hard is it to catch these guys now?
Go ahead. Well, they're not. I think it would be the law enforcement that's after them right now. They've all got a problem. I think they already caught 1, but maybe 2. But I don't think they're. A lot of them are very young. I think the oldest is in his 40s, and he's probably the ringleader. And I think they probably, they all didn't split up and go in separate ways. I think, he's the ringleader, and he's given the youngsters assignments and so on and so forth. So they could all be in the same area, in the same house, but someone absolutely is hiding them. One of their relatives, I'd run all their DNAs and see who's, you know, where all their relatives live. Because you have to, anytime you're convicted in America now, you have to give a DNA. So they're going to get caught. It's just hopefully, first thing that they're going to go after, though, most of them, all of them have gun charges. So the first thing they're going to go after is guns.
In other words, you mean the first thing that these guys are going to do once they get out is try to find weapons?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because they're almost all of them arrested, you know, with gun-related charges.
All right, so Governor Landry, the governor down there, blames this that you're watching on the justice system in New Orleans. Take a listen.
New Orleans handed the jail keys to those who vowed to keep criminals out of jail. And sadly, today, we show that it worked. I hope that everyone understands that the video of those prisoners escaping epitomizes a progressive criminal justice system.
Agree?
Absolutely, 100%.